What if I told you that your next great career move doesn't involve climbing any ladder, learning any wild new software, or pretending you suddenly love hustle culture? No, no, no. Your next move might actually involve sitting comfortably in your favorite chair, wearing whatever you want, managing someone else's chaos while drinking a fresh cup of coffee. And the best part? You've already been training for it your entire life, without even knowing it. We're talking about becoming a remote project manager for small businesses. And if you're 55 or older, this might be the most perfectly matched side hustle you've ever come across. You've already mastered the skills. You've lived through decades of juggling schedules, organizing family members, keeping the world around you functional, and now small business owners are desperately looking for exactly that level of calm, experienced leadership. They don't want drama. They want structure. And guess what you bring? Structure that could probably organize a parade with 10 minutes notice. But that isn't all. This opportunity is flexible, remote, and shockingly in demand. So today, we're diving into what the job looks like, why it's so ideal for people 55 and older, the tools you need, how to find clients, how to set up your workflow, and what a real day in this role looks like. Think of it like discovering a secret door in your career you never knew existed. And behind it is a part-time job that actually respects your time and your sanity. Let's get into it. Here's the thing small business owners will never admit out loud. They're overwhelmed. Completely overwhelmed. Most of them are juggling 10 jobs at once. They're shipping orders, answering messages, forgetting what they were supposed to do 15 minutes ago, and then suddenly remembering at 3 in the morning. And if you ask them, "Do you have a project manager?" they'll look at you like you just asked if they have a private chef. That's where you come in. People 55 and older bring something most businesses are starving for: reliability. Not the, "I'll get to it eventually."
One of the highest paid remote jobs that requires no college degree is a remote project manager. Remote project managers essentially oversee projects from start to finish, and they ensure that people are able to complete things on time and within budget. This role involves coordinating with team members and clients, managing resources, and tracking progress. So if they have a 5-month deadline and $100,000 to spend, you need to make sure that they are on track and that every one of those 5 months is broken up into smaller chunks and smaller pieces to make sure that you don't go over budget.
Kind of reliability. I'm talking about the, "I showed up 10 minutes early with everything printed, highlighted, and in alphabetical order" kind. You bring life experience, calm judgment, and the beautiful ability to look at a chaotic situation and go, "Okay, let's just put things in order." You've already been a project manager for decades without the title. If you've ever coordinated family vacations, organized work meetings, handled medical scheduling, or planned even one holiday dinner where half the family changed plans at the last minute, congratulations! You have more real-world project management experience than most 25-year-olds who list multitasking on their resumes like it's a personality trait. And don't forget the no-drama work ethic. Nothing shakes you anymore. After 55 years on Earth, you've seen it all.
Here's how to get into project management with no experience. Let me start off by saying you probably have way more experience than you think you do. So consider these 3 things and do this one thing. 1, think about what a project is. This concept of taking something from beginning to end and creating a unique product, service, or result. 2, consider the 5 phases of the project lifecycle. Initiate, plan, execute, monitor and control, and close, and have a general idea about what's involved in each one. 3, reflect on your previous and current roles, and think about the project management related activities involved in each one.
A client running late? Fine. A deadline shifting? Expected. Someone forgetting something? Not surprising. You bring steadiness, not stress. And small business owners absolutely love that. But if you're thinking, "All right, this sounds good," But what does the job actually involve? Let's get into that next. So, what do you actually do in this role? Well, imagine being the person who makes sure things don't fall apart. That's basically it. A remote project manager helps businesses plan their tasks, schedule their work, and stay organized so things actually get finished on time. You're coordinating timelines. You're helping define what needs to happen and when. You're breaking projects into smaller steps. You're making sure people know their responsibilities.
I am a freelance project manager. I plan, lead, and execute projects in various industries, particularly the commercial services industry. Rather than working for a set employer on multiple projects, freelance project managers offer their services to organizations looking to hire a project manager for a specific project. Freelance professionals are often self-employed and will work on a contract basis. While I self-promote and solicit, many freelance managers work with agencies or employment companies.
You're checking in, tracking progress, and keeping everything moving at a steady pace instead of the usual small business routine of chaos followed by panic followed by miracle. And the best part is that all of this can be done remotely. You don't need to step foot into an office. You don't need to commute. You don't need to sit at a desk from 9 to 5. You're simply the person who keeps things running. Think of yourself as the conductor of a small orchestra, except the musicians are employees. The sheet music is a schedule, and your baton is a well-timed reminder email that says, "Hey, how's that task going?" Most businesses are drowning in responsibilities because they don't have someone with your level of organizational instinct. They need someone who can help with scheduling, follow-ups, tracking orders, coordinating vendors, reminding them of deadlines.
The median annual wage for a project manager is around $95,000, and that was reported in 2022. So it is very much possible to make six figures as a project manager.
And making sure all the moving parts of their business don't collide into each other like bumper cars. And the best part? Everything you'll do maps perfectly onto skills you've built through life experience, not fancy certifications. But before you dive in, you might be thinking, do I need to learn complicated tech software? Let's talk about that next. You've probably heard tech people talk about project management tools like they're spaceships. Our workflow integrates with the cross-platform synergy dashboard while optimizing productivity metrics. What does that even mean? Did they just say words or cast a spell? Good news! The actual tools are incredibly simple. Most remote project managers use a handful of easy platforms such as Trello, Asana, or Notion. And these tools are basically digital to-do lists with boxes you can drag around.
I make six figures working from home as a project manager, and here's a normal day in my life. I like to sit down and get started with work around 7:30 to get through emails and messages and create my to-do list before my first meeting at 8. As a project manager, I facilitate meetings each morning with our team of software developers, and this time of year is extra stressful with the holidays coming up, code freezes being implemented soon, and big features that need to be released. After my block of morning meetings, I like to switch over to the standing desk and get some steps in. I have anywhere from 3 to 6 hours of meetings on average, and that is pretty normal if you're in project management. It's super important to be diligent about following up on action items, identifying and documenting risks and dependencies, unblocking technical tasks so your team can move forward on deliverables, and creating your to-do list because you have very little time in between meetings to get your actual work done.
If you can move a file across your computer screen, you can use these. Slack is just a messaging app for teams. Zoom lets you meet for 5 minutes and then go about your day. Email does half the job already. That's it. Nothing complicated. You're not hacking into satellites. You're just helping people stay organized. Here's the beauty of it. Your real skill isn't the software. It's your instinct, your ability to look at a messy situation and calmly turn it into a game plan. You bring judgment that no amount of tech jargon can replace. But now that you've got the tools, there's another question. Where do you actually find the small business owners who need your help? And trust me, they are out there searching. Let's get into that. Finding clients for this kind of work is much easier than you'd expect.
Welcome to a day in the life of a remote project manager. But I do start by just jotting down the main priorities that I have for the day and what I need to get done. I try to limit it to 3 priorities, and then anything else that I get done is just amazing and a bonus. And so here too, I also like to send out the meeting agenda before the meeting starts. So here I'm just opening up the meeting, making sure, everyone who needs to be on the call is on. This is a meeting of 60 plus people, different teams across the government. So just trying to make sure that everyone who needs to be there and listening is on before we get started.
Small business owners aren't just overwhelmed. They're openly calling for help. All you have to do is show them you're the steady hand they've been missing. Start with your existing network. You'd be amazed how many local businesses need someone who can manage schedules, orders, events, or projects. Small shops, contractors, consultants, online sellers, designers, wedding planners, trainers, coaches, boutique owners, they're all juggling too much. Many would leap at the chance to have someone reliable take over the organizational side so they can focus on the creative side. Then move to online marketplaces like Upwork or LinkedIn. Businesses constantly post listings for part-time project managers, remote coordinators, or operations assistants. And your age becomes an advantage.
As project manager, what I do on daily basis is basically making sure that the team deliver what have to deliver on time, that I'm making sure they are not lazy, they proceeding with work, we are going the right direction, I'm managing the clients, making sure the relationship with them are great. And then, to be honest, I'm not only project manager because I work in a small company, so I have more responsibilities. I'm a little bit of delivery manager, even operations, because I seeking every improvement in the company that is possible.
They don't want someone who disappears for 3 days because their phone battery died. They want someone dependable. But here's a powerful secret. When you pitch yourself, don't talk about your skills first. Talk about their problems. Is your schedule getting out of control? Do projects fall behind because you're doing everything yourself? Are deadlines slipping? When you describe their pain, they immediately see you as the solution. So you've found potential clients. But how do you set yourself up for this role in a way that keeps things flexible and enjoyable? Let's cover that. This is where the job really becomes appealing. Because as a remote project manager, you're not signing up for a full-time commitment. You're creating something that fits into your lifestyle. You choose your hours, you choose your workload, you choose your clients.
People always ask me about how to break into project management and specifically tech, and I always tell them transferable skills and a bulletproof resume. You can be a project manager in literally any field: nursing, engineering, construction, education. The list goes on, and even though opportunities might be scarce, if you can work from home, that's even better. I've been working from home for the past 5 years, and not gonna lie, I get lonely. That was Teddy Pendergrass, wasn't it? So I've challenged myself to get dressed more often and work outside the house at least 1 day a week. I ended up at Needs in Canton, and the location was superb, especially because they have free parking, but also the Wi-Fi was jumping like Destiny Child.
Start by defining your schedule. Maybe you want 10 hours a week, maybe 20, maybe only mornings. You decide. Then define your responsibilities clearly with each client. Let them know you'll organize tasks, maintain their schedule, check in weekly, manage their projects, or oversee deadlines. But you're not available to be their on-call emergency hotline. Boundaries keep the job enjoyable, not stressful. Rates vary, but experienced part-time project managers often charge anywhere from $25 to $60 an hour, depending on the work. And because you bring decades of organization, time management, and real-world skill, you can confidently set your rate. This side hustle is perfect for people 55 and older because you've reached a point where you don't need chaos.
The easy way to become project manager without a degree. The other day I was talking to a friend that wanted to be a project manager but had zero formal education, no fancy degree, nothing. But here's the thing, he's managing huge projects now. Want to know his secret? Took a bunch of courses online and started volunteering as a PM in his spare time. He started with small online projects, gained hands-on experience, and made connections. By the time he was ready, job offers were waiting for him. So what's the lesson? Degree or not, if you're smart about gaining experiences and building relationships, you can nail that dream job.
You want meaningful work, not stress. And remote project management gives you exactly that. But enough theory. What does a typical day actually look like? Let's walk through it. Picture this. It's a Tuesday morning. The house is quiet. You're enjoying a cup of coffee that you didn't have to chug while rushing to work. You open your laptop, glance at your project dashboard, and check messages from your clients. One client needs a schedule revision for the week. Another wants to add a new task to a project. You spend 15 minutes organizing everything, assigning due dates, and sending quick messages. Nothing chaotic, no emergencies, just calm adjustments based on your natural sense of order. Then you hop on a 5-minute Zoom check-in with a client who says, "I don't know how you keep my business so organized." You smile because you know the truth.
PMP certified project managers on average make $120,000 a year. So I was like, oh, that's the one I want. I want that certification right there. And so I look into the class and it's a couple $1,000s. And mind you, I don't have that money. And it's an advanced class and it's 2 weeks long. So you're taking it all day. And I borrowed that money from my sister and I quit my job. And I was like, I'm just going to go all in because it's an act of desperation. Like, I don't really have a lot of options right now. And I took the class and I studied for a little bit and I took the PMP exam and I passed on the very first try above target in all 3 areas. And, about 90 days later, I have my first project management role.
You've been managing way more complicated situations since the 1980s. Around lunchtime, you take a break. You step out for a walk. You read a book. You enjoy your day. Then later in the afternoon, you check messages again, update a few tasks, send a reminder email, and that's it. You're done. Your work didn't take over your life. You used your natural strengths. You helped a business stay on track. And you did it from home, with zero stress, zero commute, and zero drama.
My favorite individual on the remote team list is the project manager. A project manager's number one responsibility is to keep the project on track. Having an experienced project manager leading the project helps with developer obligations. After a few deadlines are missed, the project manager is there to escalate the situation with the development manager.
But that brings us to the big question. What does this opportunity mean for your future? Being 55 or older doesn't mean slowing down. It means choosing smarter opportunities, ones that fit your life, your experience, and your goals. Becoming a remote project manager isn't just a job. It's a way to use your natural strengths, your judgment, your organization, your calm, your reliability, to help small businesses thrive while you enjoy a flexible, rewarding side hustle.
So I actually started as a project associate at the company that I work for. I was in charge of all of the admin, so tracking the project financials, schedules, things like that. I got lucky because my project team also let me do a lot of the communication and all of the liaison work that goes into project management. So talking to the various project participants, whether it be a contractor, any other consultants, design professionals, the client, all that stuff. And during that time, I absorbed everything. I learned how to read drawings. I learned all the industry terms. Well, not all the industry terms because there's literally so many you'll never be able to stop learning. But I learned a lot. Once I wrapped my brain around all these things, I was able to be promoted to a project manager, which is what I am now.
And the best part? You can start immediately. No special certification, no major investment, just your experience, your structure, and your ability to bring order to the chaos. So ask yourself, what would it feel like to have a job where you guide the schedule instead of racing against it? Where your experience is an asset, not an afterthought. where you get paid to organize things the exact same way you've been organizing life for decades.
A day in the life of a 35-year-old project manager. I wake up and I immediately need to get status updates for my whole team, get in the shower, do the same thing, do the rest of my morning routine, and then I need to get some coffee, so I get that, and then I send more status updates because I always need to know what's going on with them. Finally get to work. Oh, no, I need more status updates. I need status updates. Oh, some rest. Nope, I need a status update here. I need to get status updates, check in on my team, see how they're doing, cooking some oh, nope, status update. I don't think my team realizes how hard my job is, and this is every day of my life.
Your next chapter doesn't have to be stressful. It can be smart, fun, and built entirely on your terms. And becoming a remote project manager might be the most perfect way to make that happen.